So SoFi is going to have a phenomenal 2022, and I know you wouldn't believe me right now because we are seeing so much red and we have been in the red for a very long time. But I'm sharing some insight and few catalysts which will turn this stock around in the coming months once we get over this crazy undecisive market. I mean, when companies like Apple, Tesla, Google, Nvidia are down, then you know that something is wrong with the market, so don't question your judgment. Okay, so let's get started with this. The fundamentals and catalysts that favored SoFi back in October and November are intact, even as the stock and all other fintech peers have sold off. Lending business alone can boost better than expected 2022 results, and attaining a banking license could even boost EBITDA to where multiples imply a $22 to around $24 a share valuation. So let's get started with few catalysts, and I know that's the reason you clicked on this video. And if you enjoy information like this, then please click on the like button and consider subscribing for more up-to-date information. So number one, I'm going to share my screen right here, over here. Okay, so number one is fourth quarter earnings call. So discussions of 2022 guidance may point to a higher growth in the lending segment, especially when the student loan returns in May. So management may come out and give a more better picture for 2022 fiscal year revenue. I know this has been pushed back, the student loan program has been pushed back, but in my opinion, we are going to see student loan come back in their books in June onwards. Number two, now I know we all have been waiting for the banking license. So here's the latest on that. They have till April. So first one was fourth quarter earnings call. Second is first quarter of 2022 banking license. Now they have till April to get the license, or else the application expires 18 months after the conditional approval, and it was given to them on October of 2022. So we have till April of 2022. I'm not worried. In my opinion, banking license may be awarded with the approval of acquisition of Golden Pacific Bank Corp in the first quarter of 2022. So it could happen any day, and they have till April, but I'm pretty sure that it kind of works in their favor if they announce in April. And we were kind of thinking or guessing or guesstimating that it'll start on January 1st, but that didn't happen. Again, from the news or from the articles that I have read, looks like it's in the works, and we should see in the first quarter of 2022, which will be a huge boost for SoFi for 2022 numbers. Number three, right here, bi-quarterly app tracker. So bi-quarterly app tracker that shows solid growth in users for SoFi on a quarterly basis. We are not talking about monthly here, but quarterly, I think we will continue to see the massive growth, about 80 to 100% growth in SoFi's banking app active users quarter over quarter. I'll explain this point in a detail in just 1 second. Now comes the fourth point, which is second half of 2022. And this is directly from the analyst report. So Bloomberg analysts are expecting that in the second half of 2022, we are going to see tremendous growth in the financial revenue, actually surpassing 10% of 2022 revenue as compared to 4% in 2021, all because of the super app adoption. So now we have seen some solid possible catalysts, in my opinion, these four that I have outlined here, that are due soon for SoFi, and few others like Superboard, etc., which I'm not counting. I'm keeping them aside. Now let's take a look at few of them in detail and try and make sense of why we can see a robust 2022 for SoFi. So I have this legend on top, if you can see, and this is a chart of active monthly users in thousands, and of course year over year growth, as you can see over here. So the yellow is Chime, blue is Varo, pink is SoFi, yellow is Dave, Moneyline, and then current right here. So as you can see, Chime is a beast. If you see over here, Chime is really a beast, and they are thinking about the IPO in March or April, which I think they should delay given the market conditions. But of course, I'll be tracking that IPO as well. So subscribe if you're interested in information like this. Okay, so let's talk about SoFi for a second over here. So SoFi is pink over here. As you can see, pink in September of 2021, we have about 65% growth year over year. Now, why is this yellow so huge, even though it's 60% growth? Because the number of users, look, they have about 6.5 million monthly active users, Chime does. And we have about, in SoFi, 878,000 active monthly users, which was up 65% from year over year. So this is really interesting stat, and I feel this will continue to drive higher and higher in the quarter over quarter and also year over year numbers. So this is of course very exciting. If you see, we have the highest number of growth when it comes to year over year, but of course the numbers are lagging, right? The Chime has the biggest, then after that Varo has the second, and then we are the third over here, which says about 878,000 active users, which is quarter over quarter. So now I know we have all been talking about the charter for a long time, but how does that affect SoFi, and what if SoFi does not get a bank charter? So this next chart will put all that to rest. Take a look here. So right now, if you see over here, the blue line that you see, or the blue bar that you see without bank charter, the orange bar that you see is with bank charter, and then the pink line that you see going up is cumulative incremental EBITDA. So if SoFi granted a national bank charter, its EBITDA margin could jump as much as 15 percentage points in year one, with a cumulative 1 billion in EBITDA added through 2025. So according to the company, on top of it, right here, as you can see, so this is, and my phone just rang, I forgot to silence it. So as you can see over here, this is 2021, we are right here. And then 2022, we can see how the EBITDA is increasing along with the bank charter. See the growth right here? This is huge, this is massive. But without a bank charter, look the growth that we have from 2021 to 2022 estimated without even a bank charter. Right now, we are close to about 2.5%. And then from there, we can see about over 15% growth. And then if we have the bank charter, we are talking about 30% growth. So almost double if we have the bank charter. And then all the way going into 2025, you can see they're estimating about 1 billion right here of EBITDA if they get the bank charter. If not, they are talking about a little over 800 million of EBITDA added to SoFi. So with or without bank charter, we can see the progress on SoFi that it's going to be very, very progressive fintech bank going forward. On top of that, SoFi can lower its cost of capital once it gets the bank charter. It could offer members more options for deposit and use those to fund loans, in return attracting members with lower interest rate on loans, high rates paid on deposits, and still no other fees. It's a win-win in my opinion, but again, we have some speculation that what if we don't get the charter? In my opinion, we are going to see the charter in the first quarter of 2022, and we can get some very clear indication in the call or the earnings call that we are going to get very soon. Now, the important part, last 2 months have been a game changer. Valuation multiples have fallen dramatically in the past 2 months. Even for fintechs like SoFi that are positioned for growth, the weighted average 2022 price to sales multiple have dropped to 4x from 12x. That's a huge drop, while the enterprise value to EBITDA ratio dropped to 42x from 50x. So SoFi share are not reaching $50 anytime soon. So if you have that in your mind, take it out. We are not going to $50 anytime soon, because look at the pressure that we have in the industry. JP Morgan just released the earnings today, and even though their earnings were very close to the EPS that Wall Street was expecting, look what happened. Their loan business was weak, and all of a sudden the shares were selling off, and I'm recording this video. We'll be lucky to see $30 by the end of 2022, in my opinion, given the new dynamics. I'm invested heavily on the stock and still have a lot of options. That is why I feel it's extremely important for us to see some massive catalysts on this stock very soon. And in my opinion, earnings and the bank charter news, and of course the Super Bowl and few other things should give us that if the market really changes for better. I hope I provided some value, and if you'd like to indulge in more conversations like this, consider joining our Patreon and Discord. Links are in the description. As always, a pleasure to share all of this with you. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.